Hi, hello. I'm here to review the fourth episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, season 12. Anyway, let it die, let it die. Everyone comes back. For the first time, we get like a proper, they come back and chat over and mull over what happened in the last episode. Dahlia is gone. Boo-hoo, tears coming out my eyes. And they all sit down, and basically, Britta and Jan are like, whoa, I'm sitting in the top. And it's interesting how, like, Nikki didn't, unless they cut it out, which they could have, but they didn't show Nikki getting mad at Britta for saying that, but they did include Nikki getting mad at Jan for saying that. Britta has, ego, so wants to be like, I'm the best, I'm from New York, I'm gonna win. Jan is like a super fan, so she wants to be on the stage, she wants to get proper critiques. The first episode didn't count because everyone got critiques. I think she probably wanted to get critiqued on her voodoo look, which is iconic. Stunning and iconic. You know what else is stunning and iconic? Rock'em Sakura using her hair as a skipping rope. Crown her. Everyone comes back in. Britta's like, I dreamt that I won season 12 in a really annoying way. And Aiden's like, yeah, then you woke up. They do the B mini challenge. And honestly, there were 5 people that I could have seen win this. Heidi, Jada, Widow, Gigi. There was a 5th one. What happened to the prizes? Like, can Drag Race not get any sponsors anymore? Like, I get that they're just giving out money for the challenges. Okay, that's your prerogative, although it does make the $10,000 an All-Star seem a lot less special. But also now in the mini challenges, you just get money. I'm just like, But then also $2,500 went to the Conservation of Bee Society, which is great, but RuPaul fracks. So you take some, you lose some. The ball, and I actually really liked the looks for this ball. I think sometimes I'm just like, what? I really miss. I feel like they used to always have one category in the ball. It was always like rich girl or business. Like it was something that was a bit more normal, a bit less draggy. And I feel like they've lost that for most of the more recent ones. So I like that they've gone back to it and be like, you have to do Basketball Wife, which is a bit more normal. You're going for realness. The first one was basically just Sportswoman. That's basically just all you had to do, and you could do it as real or as draggy as you wanted. You could do a take on a costume, or you could do an outfit inspired by a sport. You know, you had free reign. Then the last one, I also really liked. It was make an outfit of balls. Now, it was a bit less challenging than some, because it wasn't like only use balls, like Drag on a Dial, where you can only use these random objects that someone found. But I think it was cool because it like allowed for a lot of differentiation. It was like, you have balls, you can do anything. There's golf balls, there's gumballs, there was cheese balls that looked really good. The girls all get to work. There was some workroom stuff, but I'm just going to go off what I remember. I think in the workroom, if I can't remember people saying about it, then like, how important was it really? Heidi has only sewn one garment, but she's giving this her all. At least she's sewn something, but at this point there's no excuse for not being able to sew Britta Filter. She eventually gets the idea to do a pineapple because she throws on some random objects, and then she gave a random story on the runway about her mum calling her family pineapples or whatever, which is probably true, but like, don't pretend like you really thought this out. I'm pretty sure it wasn't even her. I'm pretty sure like Jackie or someone was like, saying, oh, you look like a pineapple, and then she was like, I could do pineapple, or like, so it was something like that. Like, it wasn't like a fully thought out concept. She didn't look at the balls and go, yellow and green, pineapple. Like, someone pointed it out. Jada had a bit of a struggle. Judy started to struggle because she realised she'd spent all this time making this like perfect garment, but then there were no balls on it. Jan was basically being like, Aiden, you have to put something on your outfit. Which, first of all, I'd be like, my competition, I'm not going to help you. Like, I'm not going to throw marbles on the floor like it's Showgirls. If someone asked me and was feeling like, what would you change? I'd be like, you know what, I changed this, whatever. I wouldn't really give too much of a thought of it. But I feel like Jan was being too helpful. I'm like, you don't want her to win. Do you want to go out there knowing you like what you delivered and it's true to you, or do you want to throw things on there that you don't want to, just in an attempt to please the judges? And that's what I would say, because I think if I was on the show, I wouldn't, if I thought something was so far outside of my drag persona and it wasn't me, I wouldn't do it. Like, if it was outfit-wise, I wouldn't... Something could be out of the box, but also still be true to your style. Whereas if they're genuinely, like, Aiden is like, this is her thing, she doesn't want to put anything else on, this is her, I'd probably be the same. I'd be like, I'm not going to add anything to it. It's mine. Britta also chastises Rock for putting too much shit on her dress, which, I mean, she wasn't wrong. We talk about Nikki, how she's not showing off her goofy side on the runway that we see backstage. Then, the nail in the coffin, when Rock started talking about how she's been judged for, like, oh, it's easy for you, you're an Asian. I was like, oh, bye-bye, Rock. Because we already got your main storyline, which was in the first episode, and now we're getting another mirror moment from you. No way. No way she's not going home today. Then we got the runway, but first of all, Leslie Jones is one of the best judges they've ever had. They've got really good judges this season so far. I don't think I mentioned Olivia Munn last week. Really liked her as a judge. Leslie Jones cracking me up with the phone, the amount of time the episode dedicated to her. My mum was cracking up at Leslie Jones. I was like, this would be you if you were a Drag Race judge. You'd be filming the whole thing. I think the bit where I was just like, you see how much she loved it, when they were like about to lip sync, and she's like, do this shit, do it. I was like, because she wants them to do well. She wants them to kill it. And I honestly want her to come back every season. I want her to be a new permanent judge. I think she should be asked, and I think if she was asked, she'd say yes. I think she'd be like, fuck SNL, I don't want to do that anymore. She's so helpful as well. She was actually good at giving them critiques. She was just so good. Oh, I'm getting so excited about the idea of her becoming a main judge, even though I don't think there's any chance of that happening. The first one's Aiden Zane. And so, her sport look, I quite liked. It was very League of Her Own. Robbie did it before her, but I think I preferred this. Robbie's was a bit more draggy, I think. And this was a bit more like an actual outfit they might wear. But I kind of preferred this for some reason. I don't know, I liked the hair with it. I liked the whole outfit. I'm glad she didn't wear that stupid black wig again this week. Now, her basketball wife look, bad. The dress was too cheap. I get what the thing is. I admire because she was trying to do something that's very difficult. She was trying to look expensively cheap. But it just came off as cheap. And the wig, I don't think, worked with it. She seemed to be going for a character that was not a basketball wife. But I appreciate the effort. Like, I feel like she tried. Like, I feel like sometimes people don't try in these, like, the balls or like, in a certain challenge. I feel like Aiden was giving it her all. She just missed the mark. And then her final look was just bare bones. It could have been alright. Honestly, if that was like the basis of it, it could have been really good. She should have made a whole skirt of those dripping things. She should have alternated black and white, and I would have had them. Would I've had them match with the stripes, like where there's a white stripe on the corset, then have a white section of dangling balls? I think I would have had the same. I think alternating would have been too jarring on the eyes, and then have it like a high to low. So at the back they're longer, at the front they're shorter, so you can see the legs. Maybe add like a collar neck piece, like almost like a choker that looked a bit like a collar to give it the sort of referee thing. Which again, I think like Jan had to give her that. So Jan helped her out a bit there. I didn't mind the look though. I mean, the look, like the hair and the makeup. I don't think it's fair that Crystal is getting critiqued for her makeup, but Aiden isn't. But I didn't mind it. I was kind of like she actually has decently good wigs, to be fair. I was, when I saw her, especially when I kept seeing that damn black wig, I was like, oh no, you're not a wig person, are you? But like some of her hair is actually like really well styled. I really liked this one. And I like that she is very vintage, but not in a Robbie Turner way. Wow, Robbie Turner connections keep cropping up. Or like a Jackie Cox way. I feel like she mixes vintage with a sort of current fashionable sort of spooky twist, and I think it really works. Like, I actually quite like her style. Apparently there's also transphobia allegations against her, so that's what's preventing me from standing. Then we had Britta. So her first look, I liked the sleeves. I think it was mainly the baseball socks that I didn't like. I think she should have just had regular pumps. I don't think that look needed any more coverage. I think it should have had bare legs. But I like the arms. I really like they were quite clever. I didn't like the thing she put out of her mouth. I think it was a baseball, but a weird like rubbery baseball. Don't ask me. Her basketball wife look, I when it came out, I was like, I know this dress. I know it somewhere. And she was like, oh, it's Kardashian Mugler. And I was like, okay, I know which dress this is. This dress looks a lot better as a flesh-coloured dress than it does yellow. It doesn't work in yellow. And it also just was so much less detailed than the actual dress. Like, I get it's not a full-on replica of it, because that'd be expensive. But I just don't, and it wasn't Basketball Wife. Even if it was the right colour, I would have been like, this is a Met Gala look. Or this is a fashion runway look. This is not a Basketball Wife look. And then her last outfit, I didn't hate. I feel like in other balls it would have got past, to be honest. But I think the standard this ball was quite high. Actually, it really was very high. I don't know, it just wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't like the yellow hair with it, and I think it's Jimmy Pink pointed out she needs to fix those damn shoes. Stop sticking things onto these big shoes. It makes your feet look bigger. Gigi Good was great. First look, totally got it. Heathers. If you don't know me, love Heathers, the film, the musical. I even liked the TV series. It wasn't as bad as people said it was, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Shame it didn't get a second season. I really enjoyed it. But Jimmy Pink got the one thing she didn't have was the red scrunchie. She had something in her hair, like a band. It was like a big thick band, but it was the same red, sort of dark red tartan that her outfit was made of. It should have been bright red. Like, maybe don't put like a regular scrunchie in, because it'd make it a bit less fashionable. But full on bright red, and that would have been perfect for me. And also, I do think, again, Jimmy Pink said she probably should have been blonde. But I think it looked quite nice. I think the brown hair made it look a bit more fashionable. And I think she's Gigi Good. She does fashion. Then her Basketball Wife look was flawless. Like, flawless. The coat, the tie, the hair, everything. Like, it was... What else did I say? Moving on. And then I really liked her final look. I didn't know if... when it first turned the corner... Oops. First turned the corner, I was like, But I did really like it. And the thing is, her spending so much time on the base garment worked in her favour, because it looked effortless. It looked effortless, but it also looked so good. Like, I think that's what more people should do in these kind of challenges. Focus on making the base and then embellish. Don't think you can make a dress out of stick stones and broken bones. It just isn't going to work. Heidi in closet. I feel like narrowly avoided the bottom only because her looks were a little underwhelming, but not bad, if you know what I mean. Her first look was a little bit safe, but it was well done. I got what she was going for, golfer, you know, everything. Her second look was accurate to a Basketball Wife, but it wasn't enough for the runway. Like, that's what actual Basketball Wives wear. It was too real. And then her final look, considering second thing she's ever sewn, and it was actually very impressive. I still don't know if I liked it, but I didn't dislike it. I was like, this is kind of quirky and cool. The green and purple colour scheme reminded me of a fruit shoot. And she went, look, the bald cap. And people pointed out they only get about... I think they joke about 2 minutes, but I think they get about half an hour between looks, I think. Otherwise, the shooting would just take all day. So she went from one look to the other, and she went from having a wig to a bald cap and a different makeup look. So I commend her for that. Jackie Cox. First look, I liked. I liked it. It wasn't out of the box, but it was good. It was a glittered jersey dress. I think it was lacrosse and no one else. Like, I was surprised by how many different sports we saw. But yeah, it was a good one because I don't think anyone else would have thought of doing lacrosse. Her Basketball Wives look, I actually really liked. It was still a throwback because I think it looked quite 70s. I think just because of the way it was cropped, it was like cropped and tied, and then it was also like a flared trouser. But I feel like it wasn't a 70s look. I feel like it was a modern look that was a throwback to the 70s. And I think I could see a Basketball Wife wearing it on like a holiday. Or not like a holiday, it was like a really... I feel like it'd be on a TV show, like a reality show, they'd be wearing it on. And they'd be like in the villa. Her final look, I actually like the look of. I didn't like her doing the same hair thing she did in the full runway, although I did prefer this sort of blue band compared to... I did prefer the blue band compared to the yellow sort of feathers I think she had the last time. The only problem with the dress is there wasn't enough balls. I think there were balls on the jacket, but not very many. And she used footballs, she deconstructed footballs to put on the dress, which was very clever. She just needed more. She just needed more balls. More balls is never a bad thing. Jada, the essence of beauty. The first look, I actually liked. Now, I feel bad because I said that Heidi's was too real. Here's the thing. This was very real. It was the shorts. It was the vest. You know, she had the socks, the shoes. She had a band on, like a sweatband. And then she had her hair up in a ponytail. Oh, no. Put this back. Cover up the hideousness. It was all sequined. All sequined. Makeup was flawless. And she carried it off. Whereas, I don't know, it was just good somehow. I think she embodied it more, and it still seemed like a look. Second look I quite liked, apart from the length. I'm not a fan of just below the knee. That's not my favourite length. But I did like the dress, and I think it was very much, it was a basketball wife going to an event. And she looked beautiful. I mean, she is the essence of beauty. And the final look, I didn't like as much as everyone else did. I thought it was nice. I had cough into your arm, people. On the side, she had one huge white ball, and it really threw me off. I think that should have been more like little small ones. Apart from that, I quite liked it. I think her being in the top 3 I wasn't mad at, because I think there was no one else I could really think of who was like, yeah, probably should have been there rather than her. Actually, no. There was someone. I'll get to her in a minute. Sorry, she's next. But, like, I wasn't mad that she was in the top 3. I was like, okay, Jan. Just Jan. Liked her first look. Her first look was, I feel like of all of them, was the most outside of the box, because she made an outfit made out of footballs. I like how she didn't know there was going to be a ball challenge, like, literally the same episode. And I liked how it looked. I liked the split-coloured ponytail. I liked that she dribbled an actual football on the runway. I just thought she looked really cool. And then her second look, again, it was realness, but good realness. It was a crystal tracksuit with like a black sort of high neck top. And I was like, that's what they wear, because they like to show off their wealth even when they're wearing tracky bottoms. And then I liked her final look. I think my only problem is I think the ball skirt landed a bit too low. Pull it up a bit, because that was also kind of knee. Anything around the knee is just very risky, because it has to be the perfect length. But yeah, that should have been a little bit higher. But I thought it was really out the box, and I liked it. And I think it is getting a bit tiring at this point, everyone sleeping on Jan, and the fact that she really hasn't been properly critiqued yet. But I missed Crystal. Her first look, I appreciated. I didn't necessarily like, but it was smart. No one was going to go for bowling. And I think it looked alright. Her Basketball Wives look, I liked as a dress, but it didn't seem basketball wife to me. And I don't think it fit her properly. I think that the breast region, it was too obvious that she had a flat chest because of the way it sat. I liked the hair. It was funny she was wearing a very similar hair to what Crystal wore in the challenge, and also during a reveal during the lip sync in her final episode on Drag Race UK. And her new makeup, so her new makeup is basically just a much smaller lip. But it does retain her upper lip. She always does a thing that kind of curves up. And she has kept that. So I'm glad she hasn't like fully changed her makeup. And I'm glad that she did it for this look, because I think in the other 2 looks, she basically, especially in the third one, she kind of kept the same big lip. But for a basketball wife, they are going to have subtler makeup. It was like a perfect balance. I'm still just not happy with how quickly they were like, your makeup's too crazy, you need to change it. And I hope I don't know. I think she looked really beautiful with the new lip. I think I prefer the way she does her lip in this new style. I just don't agree with her being changed, because she does big lips. And then her final look, I quite liked. It wasn't anything like, I don't think I'm going to remember it for very long, but I quite liked it. I liked the reference to Carmen Miranda. She was she was in the lower half for me, but again, she didn't deserve to be in the bottom. Then you have Nikki. So first look, I liked the dress, sort of jet crystal dress she had on top. It was very similar to her sparkle runway, which was a bit annoying. I quite liked the wig, even though it's not usually a wig I don't usually like that style, but I did like it. The basketball wife look, I really liked. Again, it was very much like, I'm in Paris. I think I still preferred Jada's Parisian look she wore on the fall runway. But like, it was good. It would fit the category. And again, I liked her final look. But it was very, very similar to Evie's farm to runway look. And it was reminiscent of Roxy's Candy Couture look. But like, it was different enough. I liked the sort of panniers, and I like that she makes everything quite French. But the sort of panniers. I think the hair could have been different. I think for some reason the hair, I think, could have been more interesting and a bolder statement. But I did really like it. I get why she was in the top. Then we have Little Rock. Bless. First look. Okay, first look. I know the actual outfit wasn't that complicated, but I think it was much better than they were saying. The stunt she pulled by having her wig and then turning it into a ball died on the floor. And I thought the actual outfit looked good enough. I liked the boots with it as well. I felt like, and she was wearing the yellow fingers gloves. I don't know. I didn't like the way she got treated. And I liked that her makeup in the first and second runways, especially the second one, were a lot more simple. It might have been the same for both. I can't remember. Because that wasn't something that the judges asked her to do. I think it was just she was like, I'm not, she's like, I'm going to show that I can change my makeup. And then the second look, I don't think it fit her perfectly because the nude illusion was very wrinkly. But it fit, again, it was a bit simple, but it was a sort of Heidi in that it fit the category, and I thought it was a bit more interesting than Heidi's was. Her final look is what let her down. It really did. Like, I honestly think I think someone else could have been in the bottom 3 instead of her. If I was the one judging, but I think she was still deserving of the bottom 3 because I really didn't like her final look. And I think it was Jimmy Pink again. Sorry, I watch her videos all the time. She's my spiritual drag mother. If it had been maybe a gradient, so that to make the silhouette a bit more refined instead of having it be so messy, and then just have it be red, then maybe like a pinky, and then like an orangey yellow, like a sunset colour scheme, similar to what Nikki did. And maybe cut the bottom skirt off, I would. Or not make it a hoop skirt. Maybe more of like a... Maybe make it more of maybe like a mermaid. Or a bit more like a train or something like that. But just don't have it the same skirt. And then that could have been really cool. And I think she could have been safe for that. I don't know if she would have been put in the top, but I think it could have been safe. And like her hair, there was a lot of effort in her hair. I think her makeup again was a bit... I actually think it was a bit much for this runway look. Because it was already so much going on. It was a bit crazy. Like, I didn't get that with the Tool one, but for this one I did. And I felt so bad for her. But, like, at least she went out being authentically herself. And then we had Widow Barn Do. And I liked it. I liked her first look. Again, there wasn't a ball involved because she was doing equestrian, which there's no ball in equestrian, so technically he wasn't following the category. But I thought it looked really good, apart from that stupid fake wooden pony thing that I hate those. I can't stand them. Her second look, it was a scotch too dramatic and big. Like the sleeves. I think it should have been a little bit less dramatic and it could have been a bit more basketball wife. And then I think her last look was interesting. Thing is, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, Cindy Lou Who. Then she went Cindy Lou Who, and I was like, okay, I was right. It was different and unique, and I thought it was good enough. I thought that, I didn't love it, but I thought, okay, that's interesting. We have the judges' critiques. I think was mostly valid, but I didn't agree with what they were saying about Rock's looks. I think Gigi winning was fair. So Aiden was saved. I think I often feel this, but I think, although Rock's my favourite, and I was hoping she wouldn't be in the bottom, even though I deep down knew she was going home because the way they edited the episode, I could have, if they'd saved Britta, I'd have been like, okay. If they'd saved Aiden, I'd be like, okay. If they'd saved Rock, I'd have been like, okay. Like, it wouldn't bother me which of the 3 were in the bottom. This is a great song. One of, if not my favourite Rihanna song. And then it started, and I was like, okay. So at first, Rockham couldn't get her dress off. Britta was doing the thing I really hate, that is constantly stepping in front of the other person. I'm like, fuck off. I'd have bashed you out the way. I'd have been a Mimi on first. Drag her to contact support now, bitch. Rockham got more and more desperate. Her first split, I got it, but then she did another. And a slow split, and then another split. And then as it went on, Britta was getting better. She was getting a bit less like, look at me, and a bit more like actually performing. And I was like, oh no. And then they saved Britta, which is also quite obvious because I don't think we'd really had a Britta storyline yet. Like an actual, like, emotional, like, here's something about me. And then Rockham goes home sobbing. It was so sad. And I doubt she's going to get picked for All Stars. I mean, she could, because you have people like Jasmine, who didn't get far in the original season. But I just doubt she'd be someone who'd get picked for All Stars. I think her drag is so cool. I think it's so unique. I think of all the drag queens, she's me the one that she was me and my mum. She was like our favourite. And so mum was devastated because I watched it once on my own and once with my mum. I was literally like, Oh no, Mum's gonna be so devastated. Hi, this is a little insert. So I watched Untucked very last minute, but I did manage to watch it. It was probably the best episode of Untucked. Like, episode 5 has drama in it, but hold on, it was really wholesome, it was really funny. Leslie Jones was amazing when she came back. I get a little bit more now when you watch my episode 5 review, like, why the girls were so mad at Aiden, because it did seem a little bit like she just gave up on this challenge, but it doesn't really change my opinion that much, because I still think what they were doing in episode 5 was, like, bordering on bullying. But yeah, that was just a short ass video just to be like, I have watched it. It was fun, wholesome, added some depth to the story. Great, love it. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Stay safe, stay clean, look after yourselves, look after your own health. Don't worry about that party. You can party once this is all over. I don't know what's coming out tomorrow, but there'll probably be something. Will there? When do I post my RuPaul's Drag Race videos? Who knows? Who cares? Goodbye. The streets are alive. It's the hills, you pillock.